Hey, what up, Unstuckers? Cel Josh here for another riveting episode of a very casual Friday.
So
Say what's up,
riveting,
Josh?
so riveting, so
Riveting.
casual. So I feel like something great happened this week. I'm not sure. The Dodgers finally won the World Series. Woo!
Woo! Oh, is that what your post was about earlier this week? I
Uh-huh.
thought they were just playing very well. Oh, excellent. Congratulations.
You're like so checked out. Didn't even know. Um Yes. For just real quick, I'm not gonna go long with this, but real quick sports talk. The Dodgers did they went to the World Series 3 out of the last 4 years, and this year they finally won. So
Yay!
finally. So I've been a Dodger fan all my life. They haven't won since 1988 when I was 2. Um so this is the first time for me being a conscious human going like the Dodgers won the World Series. Oh, awesome. So anyway, that's enough sports talk, but I'm excited about that.
Congratulations. Does that mean you get a ring? Did they send one to you for being
They
such an
do.
avid watcher?
Yeah, because I watched
Excellent.
every game this year, and anyone who does that is seen as somebody who is technically on the team. So I get the
Got
fancy
it.
$1 million ring or whatever the heck that is.
Oh, cool.
No, I had
Cool,
nothing to
cool,
do
cool.
with it, and I feel like I was a huge part of it though. So
That's what being a fan is, though.
that's right.
So I'm happy for you and your team.
And I'm
Congratulations.
happy
But
baseball made it through in the year 2020. I really didn't think the season was going to finish.
yeah,
I
that's
thought
fair.
they were going
I
to get
mean,
shut down.
yeah. Well, on a more business related topic, what's your week been like?
Oh my goodness. Well, nothing. I did nothing. I just watched baseball. No, I did some stuff. So, first and foremost, let me look it up here. Last week you helped me brainstorm some new keywords for my
Oh, yeah.
PDF for the podcast startup course, and so if any of you saw, I did like an Instagram TV thing on our Unstuck Institute Instagram, kind of showing what I'd come up with and plugged in. And so here we go with the results. So you'd given me some general terms, and based on what Facebook was suggesting, these are the terms I plugged in. 4 different terms. Um, they're all podcasts. People like podcast plus something else. Okay,
Okay.
um, so the first one's podcast and digital marketing. People who are into digital marketing might be in a podcast. Next one is podcast plus marketing, just marketing, plain old marketing. Next one is podcast plus influencer marketing. All right. And then
Okay.
podcast plus entrepreneurship. All right. Of those four, in the last week, and I'm only spending like $1 a day, I think, on each of these audiences. So it's not a whole lot
Okay.
of traffic. We're just seeing which one's going to work. Um, podcast plus influencer marketing did by far the best at
Wow.
about just a little over $2 a lead. Um, and so somebody who actually went to the website, and podcast plus entrepreneurship and podcast plus digital marketing are tied at just over $3 a lead. And
Hmm.
podcast plus marketing in general is the worst at almost $4 a lead. Now,
Wow.
how does that compare to the the keywords that I had already in there, which were storytelling, home business, courses, and that Artie Lang, Bob Saget, Joe Rogan one? I will tell you that again, Artie Lang, Bob Saget, Joe Rogan fans are the best for my thing.
Wow.
So I have now upped that because they've been consistently just the best in terms of getting me page views and downloads. So I'm now doing
So
five
fucking
dollars a day
random.
on that audience, and they have been in the last 7 days like $1.10 per lead. Um,
Wow.
and let's see, storytelling. Um, and home business courses, and yeah, home business and courses and storytelling are all roughly about the same at about a buck 50 a lead. So the old ones are still beating the new ones by that
Wow.
stretch. However, podcast and influencer marketing is pretty close, pretty close. So I'm probably going to, given all that. By the way, if you want to see this, I'll probably do an Instagram story so you can actually see my chart instead of just all these numbers flying at you.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm probably going to turn off digital marketing, marketing, and entrepreneurship because those are right now of the 8 audiences I've got going. They're losing pretty badly. Um,
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep the dollar or two. Maybe I'll go to $2 a day on these middle range ones for the next week and see how they progress. If any of them do way better than the others. But right now, yeah, I'm doing $5 a day. Maybe I'll do $10 a day on this Artie Lang, Bob Saget, Joe Rogan thing because for whatever reason, those people are downloading my PDF like mad. So
So
I spent
random.
$20 last week on them and got 16 clicks. Very small numbers right now, but we're
Yeah.
just we're just looking at percentages so I know what to increase later. Um, so
So the people who are downloading it, remind me, they're going into that like 10 email list afterwards, right?
right, yeah, and so I looked
Do you
up
have
I looked
stats
up
on
that,
that too?
yeah. So they
Cool.
get the PDF and then they get 10 emails. Like the second one is like, just making sure you got the PDF. Here it is again. Um, third one's like, do you have any questions about the PDF? So far, nobody has responded to that because that would end up in my inbox. Um, and then it just goes on with like, here are some mics I use, like just giving away information, right? And then at the
Yeah.
very end, it's like, here's the course, here's the course, here's the course. Have 20% off or get a T-shirt. I'm still waiting for the new swag headphones to come in, and then I'll change that up, and hopefully they'll be in by the end of the month, which is only in a day, I guess. But hopefully they're in very, very soon, and I can do like a November push with that, with like the audiences that
Yeah.
are working, and go like anyone who signs up in November, the first 50 people get headphones shipped to them. So
That's
that's
awesome.
the plan. Of course, so I am spending money and I am not making money because so far, 0 course signups. I did look into the PDF, like how many people get in those 10 emails,
Hmm.
and I'm getting open rates between um, like 15 and 50%. Most of them are between 15 and 30, but there was one that was like 50% open rate. I'm like, that's good to know. So I might be like tweaking the order, like the ones that just don't get opened at all, I'll just cut them out.
Hmm.
Um, maybe replace them with something, maybe just make the change order. We'll see. And yeah, so there's a lot of moving parts. And then I've got all
Yeah.
my retargeting ads on Facebook uploaded. And they're not spending much money at this point because I don't have very many people who have actually gone to my website, but they're retargeting those people with all these
Yeah.
other things. Some of the same things that are in the emails, some are not. Um,
Cool.
so hopefully there'll be an ad for like the headphone thing in a retargeting way. Like, you download the PDF already. Here's the incentive to buy the course now with the headphones.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so it's always scary to be spending money and not making money, but I do feel like I'm spending way less right now. Like in the last on all these audiences in the last 7 days, um, I've spent. Will it tell me? Do do do. I spent $90. So that
It's
sucks,
pretty good.
but it's also like good research. It's not like I spent a
Yeah.
$1,000 going, well, that audience didn't work. So and now that I know people who like Bob Saget, Artie Lang, and Joe Rogan are where I should put some more of my money.
Yeah. And like if you remember on Wednesday we were talking about like not spending money in advertising if like you don't have it, but
Hmm.
obviously you have another business that can back this side hustle.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? To
absolutely.
some extent.
Yeah,
It's not obviously it's not unlimited, but like you have enough capital to be able to fund this side hustle. So like that's not going to be an approach for everyone, and that's okay. But it's really cool that you're doing the research for us. We
yeah,
appreciate that.
yeah. I mean, all that research is going to be different per niche, but
Totally.
But
Totally.
yeah, I do have JBit Tech is where I fix computers. That's where I make most of my income, and that is paying for this,
Yeah.
and right now I've sold enough courses that I'm continually like at breaking even or just behind breaking even, but I'm still kind of not really doing a full launch, a full push. This is just experimental. So
Yeah.
the fact that I'm still kind of close to even, I'm like, okay, like if I was losing over the course of these last months lots of time and hundreds of bucks and no course sales, I might be really reconsidering it. But with very light experimentation, still getting some course sales and traffic, I'm like, okay, all right. So,
Yeah. And like you're preaching to the choir, man. I know it can be frustrating to like
mhm.
do all of this work and not reap anything. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? So it's cool that you are, I mean, obviously, like you don't expect to break even right away, but it's cool that you are seeing some balance within that. So that's cool.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. And then a quick update, like I've been continuing to work on diving back into music, getting people to contractors to help me like do musicians to do a part on a guitar or some horns or whatever, and songwriters to give me feedback and all this stuff. So that's moving forward again, which I'm really liking. That even if I never make money with music, it's just a great hobby. But as I've said before, all my hobbies are potentially profitable because that's just how I'm freaking wired. It doesn't mean I'm making
Yeah.
a ton of money at it. It just means it's potential. And I like running towards that potential and having something I enjoy like music. So that's been great too. But yeah, the big thing has been these campaigns. And I'm going to try this week to maybe brainstorm a few more audiences to continue to test, turn off the ones I just mentioned,
Cool.
and then yeah, I think it's probably time to up some money on definitely Artie Lang, Bob Saget, Joe Rogan, but maybe a couple of the others that are in second place there, and see
Yeah.
if I can get some course sales this week out of all of this infrastructure of a funnel type thing that exists. Um, oh, and I do want to in terms of like funnels, a lot of people do like webinars or something, like click here for this webinar. I don't really have
Yeah.
much of a webinar to give, and maybe I will eventually give something. But I was thinking a similar thing that fits in, and let me know what you think about this. Is I was thinking about giving one of the lessons away for free so that people really understand
Hmm.
who I am and what I'm about.
Yeah.
Probably not the first lesson because I think the first lesson in my course is actually a two-parter. Um, but
Yeah.
maybe like the third or fourth lesson, which I think is just about rooms to record in and stuff. So it's like anyone could use this information and run with it and not need me, and
Yeah.
that's totally fine. But that gives you an idea of like my teaching style. So I was thinking of having a retargeting ad and putting it in the email chain. Like, do you want a free lesson from the course? Here it is, um, and seeing how that runs too, or maybe having instead of retargeting, making it the cold lead generator, just like the PDF. Like, sign up here
Yeah.
for free course and see how that competes against the PDF for most clicks and views and signups.
Yeah. Totally. So I think that's an awesome idea. I actually do something really similar. I call it a free training, and basically it's like meal prepping 101.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really cool. I found though that people are very hesitant to give their emails away. They freaking keep it as safe as their social security number for
Mm-hmm.
whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
But the people who do want it are actually going to give you their email, right?
Right.
So like
Right.
it works.
It's
Yeah.
like a
So I think
filter.
that's a really good idea. Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's a really good idea, at least to get people like interested in it and to have them experience you. So
Right.
yes, I'm 100% on board with that.
Excellent. Yeah. Cool. And I think I can
Yeah.
actually I'm just kind of thinking through this now. I think I can actually make a different 10 email chain in Wix for the people who sign up for the free course, so that if they sign up for the free course,
Yeah.
instead of like, did you get the PDF? That would make no sense. It would be like, what do you think of the course? Do you have any follow up questions? And then a lot of the similar emails of giving away information. And then course, right?
Yeah.
You see which chain works the best. Ooh.
I mean, people just love free information. So like if you're generous with it, I think that's gonna reap tenfold, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. How about your week, Chell? What's been going on with you? You got, first of all,
I
for
was
YouTube viewers, you've got this like background on lock now. I need to like
yeah.
figure out what to do with mine, which is fine but kind of cluttered. And yours is like, oh, that's professional, like 2020 Zoom level background right there.
So what's funny is that this has been like this for like a month,
Hmm.
maybe like a month and a half
Hmm.
since we've lived here. But I've been like working on that side of my desk, not on this like angle. And I'm like, psh, I have a yoga ball. I can go anywhere. So I just decided to change my angle today.
Yeah.
And this is what you guys get. Look at that. I even put my light on for you.
Oh, wow. Wow. You're, yeah, full
Yeah.
on influencer right there. All right. So besides the angle changes, what else has happened this week?
Yeah, definitely. So this week has been awesome. It's definitely been a really good balance between relaxation and work. So last week, I think I mentioned that I had a 15-minute phone call, and that actually led to a 45-minute phone call, which led to a sign on of a client. So I typically don't,
Ooh.
I know. So I typically don't book 15-minute phone calls on Saturday nights in particular at midnight
Uh-huh.
because I'm exhausted
I bet.
and I happened to be day drinking on Saturday, so like I had to sober up, you know. Just real
Good.
talk, guys.
Good. Yeah. Yeah.
But
Be
I
a
took this
professional.
call and oh yeah, I try. So I was hydrated. I took this call and she's like, "Yeah, like I'm interested in learning more." So we got on a call on Monday and she was super stoked about it. So I have a new client as of this week. Thank God.
Yay.
Yeah,
Well
so
done.
super cool. Thank you,
And
if I say so myself.
that's a high-end package. Remind us how much your thing costs.
Yeah, definitely. So that it's 2,400 over the course of 3 months.
Whoo!
Yeah.
That's a
So
sale, you know?
yeah,
Like
I'm it's I'm beyond
nice.
excited.
Yes. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
because mine's $97. So I'm talking about like course sales. It's not like $2,400 over the course of 3 months. It's like just kind
yeah.
of catching up with advertising. But yours is a harder sell, you know. But when you get them,
Yeah.
they're big.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And like I was saying earlier, like putting all of this effort in and not seeing any reward has been so defeating the last couple of months. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure checking in with you weekly has what's kept me sane and like kept me on board with it because it's so friggin' hard, man. Like when you're reaching out to so many people and like all you get is oh thanks but no thanks, like maybe I'm interested like later.
Right.
It's really frustrating.
Yeah.
It's really frustrating and like it's basically just everyone telling you no all the time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Me
it's
too. Yeah.
it's so nice.
I
Yeah.
think the check-ins. I would have ditched this whole course thing a long time ago, but the check-ins have made me continue on. So.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So it's been really good this week. And I think that's also like motivated me to find the balance for myself again.
Mhm.
So I've been kind to myself, sleeping in when I need it. Still getting up for like early morning runs a couple of times a week, but like sleeping in when I need it and just like taking the time to relax when I need it, but also making sure that I'm still doing direct outreach every day. That's like my bare minimum. You know what I mean? Like that is my absolute bare minimum every day. And obviously like posting on social media. But that's been really cool. So like to know that I just like need to do this and if I do nothing else that day, be kind to myself,
Right.
you know?
Right. You know what your minimum
So
is.
yeah, so
Yeah.
that's been really good just for like head clarity and like knowing that if it's sunny for like 30 minutes, I can go outside and like not have to worry about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Right.
I think for mental clarity, that's been awesome this week. And I think that refreshed like mental outlook on it has been helpful because I actually landed two more 15-minute phone calls. I have one scheduled for tomorrow and then one that I need to schedule for the weekend.
What?
So yeah.
You're on
So
fire.
it all snowballs though. Like when you're in a better mindset, like guys, I know we preach this all the time, but it's so friggin' true. Like when you're in a better mindset, things just happen without you really having to do it. So I think I worked maybe a total of 15 hours this week. I got through like the first 5 seasons of Schitt's Creek this week. So I Netflixed a fuck ton.
You're doing the
I'm
important
not
work.
saying
You're doing the important work.
I'm not saying you guys should do this at all, but like if you have the mindset of like, yes, prosperity is going to come, positivity is going to come, it will. Like, you don't have to put in 30, 40-hour weeks all the time, or 60, 70-hour weeks all the time.
Right.
So that's what happened this week.
I think too, though,
So
for people
even
who are listening to that, like if you've got a day job and you're working on your side hustle, we're not preaching like your side hustle has to take 40, 60 hours a week, because no one's got time for that after a 40-hour a week
yeah,
day job. You know, like my day job is the IT stuff. I'm doing all this other stuff on the quote unquote side. Um,
yeah,
and so I think like hearing that is very inspirational, because it's like, oh, like if I really dedicate 15 hours or so a week to my side hustle, I could find some traction. Like it doesn't need to be like, okay, as soon as you get off at 5, you better work until midnight and then wake up at 4 so that you can do a few hours before you go to your day job. You know, like,
yeah. And like, where you put your priorities is what you're going to succeed in, right? So like for me, my priorities right now are finding the balance so that I'm not burning myself out like I have for all these years, and still making time for family. So find the balance that's going to work for you, and know you're not going to find it immediately. I mean, shit, I'm in business 4 years and I'm just starting to figure it out. So,
yep,
fuck.
keep on learning.
Um, but in addition to that, I had other goals last week. So, I believe one of them was to redo the like about me page on my Instagram, and I
Hmm.
did that. So you
Right.
guys can go check out chef_RDN if you want to see that. So I think it says like about us or something along those lines. But basically, it talks about the course. Maybe it's about the course. I don't remember what I called it, but it's all revised. It looks sweet. Did it all on Canva,
It looks great. Yeah.
and it's not about me. It's about the end goal for the client and what they want to achieve.
Yeah.
So remember what we've talked about with Donald Miller and building a story brand, right? Tell the story, be the guide.
Hmm.
And that was my approach with that. So
Nice.
I think I pulled that together in like 2 or 3 hours the other morning. But yeah, so that was a goal I knocked out.
That
In
looked
addition to
great.
that, this week,
Super professional.
oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, and guys, remember when you're doing stuff like that to stay on brand, right? Like, use your colors, use your logo, use your font, like, stay on brand. That's super important.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, so I think in addition to that, my other goal was to like prep for I had a Facebook Live with like a mommy thing, and that went really well. I think there were like 10 people watching it live on Facebook, and now it's evergreen for the 200 plus people who are in that group.
Nice.
So that's huge. I'm super stoked about that. And that was
Cool.
just like meal prepping 101.
Yeah.
So that was another thing that I did this week, and I think that might be it. I think on the back burner last week I mentioned that I wanted to do another ebook, and that's still on my list of things to do for this week. So,
Right.
but that was like back burner, so I'm not really like,
Maybe had you
it's
worked
fine.
17 hours or so, but
Exactly. Had I not taken a nap today, like I probably could have gotten it done, but it's fine. It's fine.
You got a client. You're
Um,
good.
exactly. I'm just taking it easy now. But yeah, that, and I've been working on the podcast again, and I actually haven't really had very many client or guests on my podcast,
Hmm.
Wellness Cucina.
Hmm.
So I'm starting to do that, and I'm starting to reach out to moms who may not be a perfect fit for my course, but if they have something to contribute to people who listen, have them on. So I
Nice.
actually have two people booked for coming onto my podcast. So it's really exciting to like, just like you said, just make connections, right? Like, make connections, build your community, help other people. And if you guys are doing marketing via social selling or direct outreach on Instagram, be active in the people you're trying to sell to's lives, right? So like,
Right.
if they're posting on their story, comment. If there's something like, for example, yesterday I saw like on one of the people's pages, because I keep a spreadsheet of everyone that I'm following, so I'll like occasionally just like check in, and I like looked at this woman's page, and she's like, "Oh, my son is just such a picky eater. Does anyone have any suggestions?" So I messaged her, and I was like, "Yeah, you can do X, Y, and Z, and like empower him, like let him have choice." And she's like, "Wow, I never thought of that." I was like, "Yeah, like no worries. You're welcome. Like, please feel free to reach out, like if you ever have questions." And then she posted it and tagged me.
Nice.
Like, yeah.
Nice.
So
Yeah, way to be
small
active and
like things,
engaged.
yeah, like things that seem insignificant, like that's something that comes easily to me. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
duh, like how do you not know that? But like, it doesn't it's not the same for everyone. So it was really cool to be able to spread some knowledge and then I don't want to say like reap the benefit of it, but like kind of like low key reap the benefit of it. So
Right.
be active if you guys are using Instagram as much as possible. I don't mean like be on it like 3 or 4 hours a day, but be active, engage, and it's you're building communities. That's what it's about.
Absolutely. Yeah. I've been
So
thinking, I don't have time yet, but maybe this week I've been thinking of starting a podcast startup course Instagram where I can just continue to give away information
yes.
and do start similarly to what you're doing on the side, but it takes extra time.
Dude, it's such a time investment. I mean,
Yeah.
you have to plan out all of your posts, and I
Mm-hmm.
recommend doing 3 times a week because I've gotten some significant increases in engagement doing it 3 times a week versus 2 times a week, and it looks better for the page. Like if you're doing three, I don't know, whatever,
Yeah.
it looks better for the page.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a time investment, but I'm happy to talk about that. Maybe we can do that as a future episode.
Yeah, totally. Totally.
Making your IG look sexy.
Oh, we should do that. You should just teach me how to do it and then I will do it. That'll be a future episode.
Excellent.
Excellent. Egg salad.
Oh God. I'm sorry I started that.
It's your fault. It's your fault. And the unstuck community knows what you mean. And they also
All right.
blame
So
you.
what are your goals for the week? I'm
So my
sorry,
goals
guys.
for
I'm sorry.
my goals for the week are going to be to find a few more audiences and increase. I'm going to increase at least one or two audiences to some substantial money and see if I can sell a course or two this week via the auto funnel that now kind of just exists. So if I start pouring money into it, not too much, and it's going to pour a little bit more so I can get enough numbers to like really test, like, if 100 people see this, do 5 of them sign up, kind of a thing. So,
Yeah.
um, and that's mainly it. I'm mostly
Cool.
focusing on that this week. I mean, I'm continually trying to keep music in the foreground of my consciousness again. But I've got no like deadline goals at the moment because I want to get this course to a place where I know what my minimum baseline is to do every day to keep it running, keep the engine running,
Yeah.
and then I can have other goals with other things. So,
For sure.
how about you?
For me, direct outreach still. Um, and in a mix of social selling. So there are some people, ooh, that's what I did last week. Remember when I said I was lazy and I was using and I was going to like private profiles and just like friending them and seeing if anything like happened from it.
Mm-hmm.
So out of like 35 private profiles, I got like 3 to 5 acceptance.
Mm-hmm.
Like they responded.
Mm-hmm.
So now with those accounts, social selling. So like starting conversations up like based off of like what you see on their Instagram. So
Right.
direct outreach and then following up with social selling. That's my goal. Minimum baseline 15 a day. I've been aiming for like 20 though. So
Cool.
direct outreach. And then I'm going to set a goal for November since that's starting
Oh
in
yeah.
like 2 days. Yeah. Um, I want 2 new clients. So that's my goal for 2 new clients in November. And I know that's kind of dependent upon other people, but it's also dependent upon me. So
Yeah.
having those conversations, having that outreach. So nailing 2 more clients in
Nice.
in November.
Yeah, I guess so. My November goal is going to be I have those 50 headphones coming, so I'm going to want to give 50 away to paying
Hell yeah.
uh to paying podcast signups. So if I can sell 50 courses, that'll be a good month in November.
Dude, that'll be freaking awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
Cool.
All right. Well, um we have an outro that I'm not prepared for. You guys on YouTube, you're getting all the unedited, like, oh, what's next? I don't know. But wait, I'm
You're
almost there. I'm
welcome.
stalling.
I got
Okay.
it. Excellent. So that's a wrap on Casual Friday. If you guys have any questions for Cash Fry, email us at unstuck.institute@gmail.com or hit us up on the gram at unstuck.institute. And if you haven't already, download our free PDF life book called The Life Book to keep the ball rolling on your own productivity. Get your life book today for free at unstuck.institute.com. There's no .com, Joshua B.
There's no .com.
unstuck.institute/lifebook. We'll see you guys next week. Have an awesome week, and as Josh always says, be excellent to each other.
We are going to get better at that. Bye.